Who is your higher self, and why do you want to have a close connection to your higher self? In doing over 1,000 higher self hypnosis sessions where I help my clients channel their higher selves to get guidance, answers, wisdom, trauma healing, and other kinds of healing, I can tell you that having a close relationship with your higher self should rate number one on the list of things you want to accomplish in this lifetime. And here's why. We all come into this life with a mission or a purpose, something our soul wants us to accomplish in addition to learning lessons. The higher self is the primary one responsible for helping you carry out your mission. Your higher self is not some outside entity. Your higher self is you. It's the voice of your soul. So while some people fear, I might open the door to negative entities or possession, that's not possible with your higher self. Your higher self is you. It's the you on the other side of the veil. This is just an avatar here on this planet. This avatar, really, the purpose is to carry out the mission of your soul, and the higher self is the one who guides you on that mission. If you listen to it, your higher self opens the doorway to wisdom and enlightenment and ascension for you. Your higher self learns and carries out its mission through experiences, and it doesn't really care how you experience things as long as you learn those lessons and have those experiences. Because from a spiritual perspective, there is no such thing as good or bad. Everything is just an experience. It's our human minds that label things as good or bad. And we all have something called an ego or a personality, and that ego and personality can oftentimes be at odds with what our higher selves want for our lives. So let's say your mission in this lifetime is to become a light worker and a spiritual healer. But instead, you decide you want to pursue money and as much of it as you can because you want to live a really comfortable, lavish lifestyle. And again, this is just an example. Now your higher self might say, that's okay, we'll get around to doing that in the next lifetime. Or if it's really imperative for your soul to accomplish that goal in this lifetime of being a light worker and a healer, your body may end up creating physical, emotional, or even mental diseases. Why are these created? Because you are resisting and going against what your higher self is leading and directing you to do. It's the resistance that creates these imbalances, these sicknesses and diseases. And it may be through experiencing these sicknesses or diseases that you find your way out of that and come back around to your purpose. Because it's probably really hard to pursue money at the intensity and speed that you were before you got sick, and you have time to be quiet and reflect on what's truly important, and quiet time to be able to hear from your higher self. You have time to read, you have time to learn, you have time to be led down the path that your higher self wants you to go on. There's an author that I really like named Paul Selig. He channels his guides, and this is one thing his guides said. Let's say you come to Earth and your mission is to bake a cake, so to speak. Your soul, your higher self, doesn't care if you bake that cake in a gutter or in a gourmet kitchen, but you will bake that cake. So how do you bake it in a gourmet kitchen versus having to bake that cake in a gutter, meaning with pain and suffering? By listening to the voice of your higher self and not ignoring it. By following its guidance, by following its hunches, by following that intuitive voice. The most important tool you have to listen to your higher self is meditation. And a lot of you may not like to hear that, especially if you've never really given meditation a true chance. Everyone can meditate. It's, do you want to? Do you want to get to that point where you can listen to the voice of your higher self and the rest of your spirit team? If you go to my website, wokelightworker.com, on the videos tab at the bottom of that page, I have some meditations that I actually have my clients listen to and practice with before they do a session. And I also have a meditation on my website called Meeting Your Higher Self, where you can actually meet your higher self in a meditation. Meditation is such a key in hearing from your higher self because it's a way to quiet all of the beliefs and the bombarding thoughts and worry and fear and clear the way for the voice of your higher self. You can also practice chanting different sounds or do visualization exercises, anything that unplugs you from the raging thoughts that occupy our minds 99.999% of our lives. Another way to hear from your higher self, and I love this one, is through journaling. Set the intention that you are going to hear an answer from your higher self. Write down a question at the top of the page and go with the first thing that comes to your mind. And just know that with persistence and practice, you will be able to more clearly hear the voice of your higher self. You'll be more in tune to feeling the feelings given to you, those intuitive hunches. And then you'll be on the road for the fastest and highest evolution you could ever want for this lifetime.